Welcome back to puddins.fab.shop, where we are building my dream tow pig, a 1963 International Loadstar sitting on a 2008 Chevrolet Duramax chassis with a 5.9 Cummins. And this week, hopefully we'll get a 6-speed in it, and who knows what else. I mean, hell, I already installed the seat this morning. Just gonna start the video and Wasp wants to play games. Now if you buck, boys. Oh, he bucks. Let's get it. Dang, I dropped him with the left. That's a first. Yeah, sorry. Don't want to build this Loadstar too long for you to come take it. As you can see here, folks, a lot of this is just kind of a mock-up. And in fact, if you did not see last week's video, you're going to want to catch that. Why do I look like Elmer Fudd right now? Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wasquilly wabbits. Hey, I'm sorry, dude. It was a broom. It wasn't a real gun. Don't be scared. I guess this ain't really a mock-up, but we kind of are, we kind of aren't. I locked in our cab mounts. Those things are not mocked up. She's welded solid. I locked in those 5.9 mounts. Those aren't mocked up. Those are pretty well welded solid. But you can see it's a mock-up because, like, I just lobbed out the firewall. It was the 4th of July, like 2 days ago. Give me a break. So there's still plenty to figure out. There's still plenty to do, but there is still plenty to mock up. We want to get our 6-speed in, like I said. We may I want to figure out the overall look of the truck, and we're getting really close. There's 2 things I want to figure out, and there's 1 thing I messed up on, so we got to figure out a solution. I'm only human. We may mock up some type of bumper, just something to visualize. And same with, I know it's going to get a flatbed. No stacks, no big diesel tanks, no let's make it look like a diesel on purpose. For me, we're doing slammed farm truck with a semi wheel. I'm not purposely gonna make her look like a damned old Peterbilt, okay? We'll keep the cab lights, we'll get straighter running boards, we'll get a bumper, we'll get a bed. Here's where I messed up. Now, I said we messed up, and where I messed up is I thought I did enough measuring to really get that centered, and it don't look awful. And in fact, if you go off of like here to where that curves into the center, we are really centered. The problem is that that side scoops way further back. So now if you don't look up there and you look down there, that looks farther forward in the wheel well. Not crazy. The problem was, when I was checking all that, I checked it on this side because everything was in the shop. In this side, this fender's ripped forward because of that nice, beautiful body damage. So when you look at this side, it just looks perfect. So when I'd landed all that and was checking it out, I was like, damn, that looks good. Then I shoved it outside last week and I was so excited I didn't notice. And then I walked over here the next day just to take it in. And I was like, damn, that wheel kind of looks further forward. I think we're gonna try something. I think we're gonna try a little fender modification, because if we put 2-inch drop spindles on this and we drop this down to here, this kind of touches right there at the tire too, so that'll be matching. And then this is just way off the tire. I think we are gonna try to put a cut down through this lip to here, and then roll that forward some, and then put a little filler piece in right there. It'll be a very subtle change that'll, I think, make it look good and look better and really hug that wheel. It's gonna make it fit it good. Then we'll blend the paint just like we did right here. That's blended paint. You can't even tell we ever cut that bed down. So don't worry, I'm a color matching expert. So this fender's pretty good. We could run that with just patching right there. And this fender obviously is gonna need repair anyhow. So I actually think we're gonna try our modification on this fender first, because yeah, at this point we ain't got much to lose over here. This fender's the reason we're in the spot we are anyhow. So hear me out though. No regrets on where we're at. No, I don't want to move the motor or the cab mounts or anything, because if we took that cab further forward, then we'd have to take the and then everything up in the steering's gonna start getting, and then motor's gonna have to go higher, then the cab's gonna have to go higher. And yeah, I like where everything is. It's just this. You want to do a nice, good, quality, straight line, no redos, right through a dinger. Oh, golly. Good thing we don't care about this fender, huh? I think we're going to go to right there. That may be too much. Let's do a little at a time. Let's go to right there first, and then we'll kind of bend on it, and if we like it, we'll roll with it. If it looks like it needs more, we'll add more. Y'all know me, I'm just firing from the hip, baby. Woo, she's free. Now, because this fender's so whooped on, there's a little tension on this, and she's trying to go where she wants to go. But we got to make it go where we want it to go. The great Houdini made the 24-inch semi-wheel disappear, but next, he'll make it reappear. Ta-da! How did he do it? Just like David Blaine used to do all his TV magic. Now we should just be able to kind of bend that down. Woo-hoo! Oh yeah, this is the move right here, folks. So we may be doing good by bending that a little bit to start to get some curve into it. But then we may want to keep that straighter, and then we may want to come up here, now finish cutting that, because what I'm basically doing is kind of shaping this to the wheel some. So we did good by bending some, but now we may need a little more. Now, so we drop that a little bit. Kind of like that right there. Matches beautiful. Yeah, I may have went too far. I don't know, I bet right there's pretty close. Yeah. Yeah. Simply body work that one into place. Oh, see, it actually did help a lot. And yeah, that's gonna need to go a little further back as a whole. So that's right here. Shove that back up, and closing that gap up there at 1/8 inch, so translating to a lot back there. So I think that right there is it. I like that a lot. And as suspected, I was guessing 2.5 inches over here with a 3-inch max. If we put that there and pull that straight out, 2.5 was a pretty good guesstimate. Now the bad news is I'm out of poster board and we need some. But the good news is now we got a reason to drive another old crusty International. Fun fact, most of your merchandise orders go in rides in my cool vehicles with me, as we got to run to town. We appreciate all the support with the merchandise, guys, as literally helps keep this dream possible. If you didn't know, we did release the Tiki design stickers and the wagon design stickers. Sorry they weren't available when the shirts had dropped. We did our best. Poster board acquired, ready to build sheet metal to your heart's desire. Poster board acquired in the 1-tire fryer. Can't even spin them, you old sissy. Ta-da! For my next magic trick, I made the Theo reappear. Now, before we do this side, if we know one thing about this fender, it's that we can't trust it because of that. So, now that we know it'll look decent from seeing that side, we're actually going to do this side first because the front of that fender is true. So it'll help us tune in the back of this one exactly where we need it. And then we'll imitate that side to this side. Think about it. So from that fender line up there to that, about 21.5, actually 21 3/4, and then about 27 5/8 to back there. We got Theo laying here to supervise. Oh, curveball. That split. So if we cut through that right there, that's gonna fall. Ooh, line draw was impeccable on this side. Oh, is that body filler? Boy, sure is. Oh, she's had a really good quality repair before, I see. Hold on, there it is. There's the rest of it. Look, someone had booger welded in a bolt. See the threads, 1/4 bolt. Hey, Ma, I fixed Pawpaw's fender on the big Loadstar. That fender had held up real good over the years, Bubba Ray Jr. the third. Theo has this misconception that if I sit in this chair, it's just a pet on him. Right where that's splitting at the very end, we want to stop drill that. That's gonna help that quit splitting. Then, because that's kind of binding, I'm gonna run this through there for a little space. Now we can align that better, and that actually cleans up the rust from both sides. Little dual purpose action. Here's my friend body filler. They did a pretty good feather there, I'll give that to them. I mean, relying on body filler to hold that's wild, but they do a feather. We're set up here at P-Tang's Mobile Welding. Oh yeah, that looks way better. I like that, let's tack it. Must be a little thin right there. Turn down the heat. I committed. Now our bottom lip's kind of so we're gonna and boop boop and line it up. Good enough for where I'm headed. Now that's a repair that'd make Bubba Ray proud. Who's good at having to do a job twice? Just me? I wish I was lying. Here lately I've had to redo brake jobs just to add Permatex brake part lubricant. Why, you ask? Because I didn't add it from the start and my brakes were squeaking and hooting and hollering. They were so loud in town people started calling me puddin' loud brakes. That's embarrassing. It's true. Luckily for me and everyone else's ears, the silicone brake part lubricant reduces noise by 99%. That's a game changer, folks. My brakes are quiet and my embarrassment's gone. Do you know the fastest way to make an O-ring leak? That's right, install it dry. Most of the time, a dry O-ring's not a happy O-ring. Thankfully, Permatex has us covered there as well with their O-ring lubricant, and it is guaranteed to work better than the spit I've been using for the last decade. On a more serious note, this O-ring lubricant is formulated to help prevent swelling and degrading. Now that can be caused by multi-purpose grease or petroleum jellies. The silicone formula helps prevent material breakdown caused by heat, water, and chemicals. So, what's all this mean? Longer lasting seals, baby. That's right, less failures, less maintenance, less headaches, more reliability. I've heard they've considered changing the name from O-ring lubricant to O-ring lubricant, because this can and will get the job done. My old crusty rides lose the emblems like I lose focus. And that's a lock. Do not fear, Permatex has us covered there as well with their plastic emblem and trim adhesive. Nowadays, everyone's in a hurry. Luckily, this stuff dries in minutes. The best part is it bonds to rubber, glass, metal, and plastic. Stuff's like Spider-Man, just sticking to everything. This stuff drives to a flexible, vibration-resistant bond. That means your trim and emblems will stay on with no hesitation, even when you encounter some road vibration. It's gonna help our old junkyard queens stay looking pristine. Puddins.fab.shop has used Permatex products for years, guys, and I've yet to be disappointed, and I don't think you will be neither. So head on down to your local O'Reilly Auto Parts to get your Permatex product needs today. Oh, that'll work. I blasted right past our first line, didn't even realize it. Now, if you're curious why we're doing all this outside, it's because I want to be able to stand back and see this side. That's impossible when we shove it in the shop. Ooh, that flows good to just do it that way. I bet right there is going to look good. Woo, hot mama. Yeah, I think I like that. That gap is a little tighter, not a lot, but I don't want to get carried away back there. And actually I do need to kind of bend it down here and then like we did on the other side, because this is kind of humping up right there. There we go. Now just kind of looking at it, this kind of and this kind of the only thing that looks a little out of place is putting Junior's repair. Well, that's way more than 2.5 inches over here. Oh yeah, that took it too far. So obviously guys, here there ain't no magic recipe. Whatever you're building, if you got to modify something like this, you just tune it in until you think it looks good. And I'm going for right in there. Final answer. Now I've never done this before, but there's a first time for everything. I got some 1/8 inch filler rod here, and I'm gonna cut us a couple pieces and just kind of tack it on here to help hold this in shape, even so we can try to make a template. Because right now, you know, depending on how hard I push on that, she's gonna go anywhere and everywhere. Yep. Just a little something like that even works. And we may even want to make this filler pieces in 2 pieces, because that gets pretty crazy and then that's pretty mellow. So if we get a piece in here, that'll help stabilize, and then we can manipulate the bottom. Now for this one, we may just try the tape technique. I broke our tack. That's okay, I already had it marked out, so as long as we get that off there successfully, we'll be good. One template ready to go. Grab some of my sheet metal ends there. This is 18 gauge. We just stick that right to there, and then I'm gonna trace it so I can see just a little better. You see me pausing my tracks for a second there? I was like, thought it started to rain. I don't think rain's supposed to go inside of welders. Not today, cord. And for this, we're going to use super advanced sheet metal cutting techniques, aka the same cutoff wheel. Go slice and dice, baby. I'm doing like the version of the Pot County Nike swoosh. Instead of just do it, it'll be just cut it. And build your old project, don't be scared, just cut it. And we're gonna have to tune her in a little bit, but that should get us pretty stinking close. Clean up, clean up. Everybody loves clean up. All right, here we go. First look. Looks like we're doing bad, just playing. Yeah, well, she's gonna fit. We just gotta figure out where we were actually lined up at. Well, I thought it was going to anyhow. That long pokey end's just gonna be a pain. We're gonna get it out of there. Well, why does that fit so dang bad? I guess I cut it a little big. That'll happen. Not much to say here, guys. You gotta grind her till she fits and you're happy with it. Should be close. Please be close. Oh yeah. We just gotta taper that down to a point. She'll be money. First tack. Second tack. Third tack almost gave me a heart attack. We're not gonna count every tack. I'm sorry. That's hitting our metal rod, so we're not gonna push that in anymore. That's as far as we wanna go. We need to, I think we'll work the top and then we'll work the bottom. Just kind of eyeballing that. Let's see how we're doing. Pretty good, not perfect. I'm not gonna be surprised if we end up doing a little body filler on here. Should be all right. And this lip right in here is a little wonky. Now up there, that's kind of out. But back here, we're looking pretty good. And I wanted to work top to bottom, where maybe we line up this bottom and then that kind of locks in, because I think we need to hammer that over just a hair. If we start hammering on it now, we may whoop-de-doo some stuff. Also, this was the quickest straight edge to grab, so I grabbed it where we can kind of, this is going to be a pretty flat piece overall. Hit that baby with the tack attack. All right, now down in here, we're a little off. Our main problem right now is we're actually rubbing right there, and I can't manipulate that. Come on over, Wasp. I'll treat you like your pal this morning. Oh yeah, I already stuck 2 this morning. One in there, one coming out. The camera wasn't rolling, okay? The easy thing to do is just give a little cut there so we get some play. Now, if you guys, this right here is crucial. Y'all see how thin that disc is? You want to get good cutoff wheels that are actually thin. A lot of the ones they sell, like where you can go grab them, they'll say they're like 40 thousandths or 45 or something. If you're measuring them, they're like an 1/8 inch thick. No bueno, okay? Get you some true thin ones, and then doing a cut like this ain't no big deal. There you go. She's a little big, but right there's where the whoop-de-doo is. We got to hammer out anyhow. That's fixable. And get a good dolly. There's some booger weld left on that backside, and to really be able to set something back there and dolly that good, we'd have to get the carbide out and get back in there and really tune that up. Oh yeah, there she went. That's some good movement. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's locked in. Just like any sheet metal, we don't want to get her too hot. That's doing good. We welded her up a little bit. Now we can cut this piece out or break it out. And match that up. Zap. Zap. Ooh, is it hot out here in the sun, or is it just me? I'm too thin on top to be in the sun too long without a hat. She's gonna get red up there. First piece is welded in. Just like everything, we're just going for it. It's gonna work or it's not. Oh, that feels good. You put those black earmuffs out in the sun, and then you put them on your head and it just cooks your brain. I like that. Keep that sucker nice and flat. I had a swap, so that one don't have as much as a backing pad, and it'll round. For this, we're gonna stay nice and flat. So I get this one and try to keep that flat. Don't gouge, don't lean, don't do a moonwalk with it. Just keep it flat and work it. Slowly but surely working that weld out. She gone. With them all ground down, she looks pretty good, but she ain't perfect. And this will tell a lot right here. Bring her home with your old DA, some 80 grit. This fairly affordable McGraw 6-inch random orbital from the old Harbor Freight. I love this thing. She does a good job. Dang, and if you thought those old spikes were just for show, you better watch out. You don't want to catch a kneecap on that piece of chrome plastic. You'll lose a knee. Here we go. Now that's gonna have some highs and lows to it, but those may be no body work required for where we're headed. I mean, it ain't like we're gonna get rid of all these chips and blah, blah, blah. You know me, we're gonna rock that patina, so we may just, she may be ready for some paint or primer. See you at the bed, Fred. When you're good, guys. Damn! Unfortunately, sheet metal's time consuming, and we basically get to do the same thing again. Dad duty calls. Hot Rod brought her kite over wanting to fly it, but it's missing pieces.
I think it's like this.
You know, girly. They still question Dad like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why. That might be too heavy. Aluminum, lightweight, durable, strong. Comes with these little fiberglass rods, and they're missing the ones for going down to there. I'm gonna cut that a little long because those ones were a little long. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That one's a little short. Oopsie daisy. This side's deeper, so we better go on that side first. There we go.
Did you kill another wasp?
Killed all kinds of wasps, girl.
See, there's one right there, one right there.
Oh yeah, Dad's got them hands. You're good to go, girl. I hope those little tail ribbons are long enough.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
You don't even remember how to fly a kite. We need more wind. Send the wind, please. If anyone's got some. Just plain keep that crap to yourself. The only downfall to doing this is losing our good quality paint job that was already on the truck. Oh, gosh, she ain't gonna have no paint left. She fits this piece of scrap pretty good. Nice good quality metal. And from here it's a repeat process. One thing, let me show you. Just cause when I tacked this to this, cause this is long and floppy, I held that out till I was happy with how it was straight. And then I put a piece of rod going back into the corner of that fender. It's not even tacked, it's just shoved against there. And then I tacked it there, so that helps hold this side to side. And we want to do that before we make our template, so that ends up more accurate. Looks good through there. Oh yeah, turns out that mobile table rolls over here, and then you don't have to double tools everywhere. Yeah. Just like up there, we tuned this one into place. Here's what's different on this side though, or on this piece. It's so long that I tuned in like the first half, and now you can see how I got flex on there. I can still grind that down to a really tight fit. Ow, ow, ow. That baby rolled through my jeans and down to my ankle. All right, pull our piece off the back side. And as we work our way down to the very bottom, that fender kind of curves in, and I've been able to push it over. But now that we're right here at the very end, I have to grab her with our sheet metal tool here. Okay, the welding pliers. And just that little bend gets it about where it needs. And right there is perfect. You'll see I left a lip, or a little extra, okay? And that extra is to make a lip. So once we get that tacked there, we can kind of bend that and hammer it, because there's a lip on the bottom side. See, thinking ahead. As far as fit up goes, that's beautiful. Whew, weld her up, grind her out. I got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is I'm not a sheet metal guy, so these things are not perfect. Other bad news is I really didn't even think I was going to go this far today. I was just going to kind of do the relief cut, but then I got carried away. So it's already like 1:30, and this is all we have done. The good news is, for not being a sheet metal guy, these things look pretty stinking awesome. Minimal body work required, if any. And most importantly now, if we take that off and we step back, all right, we're gonna walk this way and do the turning look. Whoo, baby. We nailed it, guys. That looks way better as far as the positioning goes. In fact, that being thicker, I think overall just looks better. Damn, I think we nailed it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be so much better too once we drop that thing a hair more. All right, that's what the doctor ordered right there, baby. Now, I know that don't seem like a whole lot, but for me, that's me being able to sleep at night. Because I'll be honest, when I walked out the other day after the end of the last video to look at that, as I was walking up to it, that was just forward, my heart dropped, guys. It sank. I was like, man, I'm just old washed up has-been, you know? No good for nothing anymore. Thought I did all that work, did all my calculating, and here I am. I missed. But then I really got to look, and I was like, no, my spot's landed. I just never really looked where I should have been looking from the get-go. So that, right now, makes me feel so much better. We can move forward knowing nothing really needs changed now. One long pie cut, a little sheet metal, and we're back to rocking and rolling. You know, it'd be really cool is to slap, I wish I had a color match. We could color match that sucker. I do have a blue, but it ain't close enough. I don't want to put all that on there to have to take it all off. I can get some tomorrow. All right, huge victory right there, folks. Is lunch? Yeah, 1:50. A little late for lunch. Damn, even that one looks good. She ain't even filled in yet. All right, little sandwich, little aloe vera to help with that nice burn I just gave myself this morning. Little Theo pets. We're ready to keep rocking and rolling, baby. He's spoiled, I tell ya. Woo! And here's how we're gonna fix this side. Just a fresh new piece of tape, and then we're just gonna tape it up there. And I don't think anyone will ever notice. Looks good to me. I'm ready to move on to bigger, better things, and y'all don't want to watch another half day of that anyhow. What's bigger and better, you ask? Well, that's bigger, and it's better than automatic 6-speed. Boy, damn, that says Buff was here. I just looked over and seen on my board it said Butt was here. I was thinking, whose butt was here? Anyhow, you know, I say we're kind of in the mock-up, figure stuff out stage. Well, last go around, we got the Cummins down in there. I really want to get this down in there. Easiest way to do that right now is gonna be, let's get our Loadstar positioned up here to the lift. 4 bolts. We'll pick the whole body up and off again, and then we'll have our chassis. Come on, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ha! Oh, that's a small kick. You want to see a real one? Above the camera. Mm-hmm. Put that back. Now we want our chassis and body to line back up easier or easily, so chalking that will make it easier. And oh yeah, I had to pull some spikes off. So some of y'all probably noticed, maybe not, I actually offset the lift back that way more, so the chassis is back that way more, so we got more room right in here, because I was kind of hoping we could snake everything in and not have to move the chassis, which is why we just chalked it. But now that I see how much room we got, it may not be enough. It's a good idea until it wasn't. I think we can squeeze it. Boom, jack up on our oil pan. It was dropped at an angle. I think it'll be easier to stab it straighter. Up next, we've got to figure out how to pick this thing up in a way we can control it some. Whoa! Who can pick her? Cherry pick her. Hole. Then a little flare job. Woo! Perfect. We're gonna take our chain and put a bolt through there, and this is gonna cradle this like a newborn and a caring mother. It's just gonna cradle it nice and close. I'm hoping it's the right spot. We gotta miss our shifter. Boy howdy, just about perfect. Come on, stabilize for me. Stabilize, I say. Well, I don't know if it's stable, but it's a start. Here's the little green stabilizer that could. Hey, professional. Damn old professional, baby. 6-speed. Little speed lift. Go for a little attaboy, a little up and over. Let's see if we can spin it first. It's pretty good. It is at a lot of angle. Actually fairly controllable as it goes where I don't want it. Now over here, oh, that was in there. My brother-in-law said that sucker is a tight fit. Oh yeah. So I think we're gonna have to be spot on for it to go. We're gonna give her a little hooky puck. Just a little grease down in all these splines. We gotta go in our pilot bearing up there, so a little on there ain't gonna hurt nothing. I don't know if this is going together for the final time or not. Probably not, maybe, could be. Just start working her into place. It would be much easier with one person on the controls and one person over here on the controls. All right, with where we're hitting, we may have to pull that mount. I was gonna say, unless we hit that hole just perfect and she does the whoo, the little slip and fall. Well, that's hitting. Now this thing still needs to go forward. This is the part where we gotta get it perfect. I think we could do it if we could jack that up more. But up there, our AC compressor is starting to hit our idler arm from jacking that up as far as it can allow it. So let's just pull this mount off. Probably be the easiest thing to do. Of course those can't be the same size. Why would they be? Dang, I grabbed a 17, a 18, a 19. It's a damn 16. I don't think I've ever used a 16 in my life. Shoot, some good looking welds over here, folks. We got the blue Loctite too. Joel on in now. Now, come on. Yeah, put a little rotation in the situation. Get stuff lined up a little better. Give her the one pump up, and she's gonna simply slide right into place. Get in there. Woo! I gave that a little pry and a bounce and a wiggle. I think it's going. I think our booty's up just a little bit, but if we can get one of these started, well, actually I'd like to get a couple started, then we can lower our cherry picker right here. I don't know, she may be good. All right, got one started. There's little bushings, little sleeves or dowels or whatever you want to call them. Got one started on each side. We're gonna go nice and easy here. Oh, that one's double bushioned. That's the problem. Luckily we didn't tear nothing up. On that one there's a bushing in the block still, and then that transmission. So my question is, will either one of them push out? And ideally we'd get the one out of the transmission, the back of it, real easy. Put us a bolt down there where that won't move on us anymore, and let's hope Nope. Well, dang it. Broke my screwdriver. That bushing did not come out of there on the transmission side. And it looked like the one on the engine side may have flattened a little bit. And now, I could probably got that transmission one so buggered up where I have to pull everything. I'm doing good. Well, booger. Gonna play hard to get, huh? Why is that so hard? I don't know if y'all can see, but I collapsed it a little more. And what I was just doing was spinning it. She's spinning now. Usually if you can get something to spin, you'll get it to move, like push out finally. She's out. Oh, well, part of it is, oh, I see. So there's like a sleeve in there. Only so much of that's supposed to go in there. I think we're good now. There's no chance of that going out backwards is what I'm saying. Yep, I think I boogered up that other bushing now on the engine side. Gosh darn it. Just anything to keep a good guy down. Oh yeah, she's the oblong ding dong now. Someone ding dong did all that. I bet we just gotta end up replacing them. See how they're now. Hopefully our other one goes. On the bright side, at this point, I'm basically an expert at hitting these splines and getting this together. Alright, apparently I'm gonna need something shorter down there, but the rest of them's in. On this side, I noticed that the bushing stayed in the transmission side and went into that bell housing. So before I ever try to put that in there, I should pull that one out of the bell housing and we probably wouldn't have had no issue. Like I said, we'll have to replace that one now, so we'll probably just do both of them. We've got a while to go before we gotta worry about that though. All right, I'm gonna take this out of there because we don't want all the weight on the oil pan. And now as far as setting our pinion angle, we've got her on the cherry picker. 1.9. We're gonna bring her down. I'd set those motor mounts, set the motor right at 3 degrees. 2.6, 3.4, too much, 2.7, 3.0, 3.1, we'll take that right there. Just out of curiosity, I want to go ahead and check our side to side. 21 and 13/16, 21 and 15/16, 21 and 7/8, 21 and 7/8. Just had moving that 16th. Now we land really close to our cross member here that holds our torsion bars. What I'm curious about is if we absolutely had to in the future, could we drop this without having to pull the whole drivetrain? Meaning I want to make the cross member or the little piece that goes in there removable. But if it's removable and we still can't even drop this down because it's going to hit stuff, so like if we ain't got enough room to come back off our input shaft and then drop and everything, it's kind of worthless to make it removable. Now from my measuring, just kind of prelim whatever before I started, I knew we were going to end up close to this. I did think we were going to be an inch or so further forward. Oh, I thought that was there for strength, but it can't be too much strength because I can see daylight right there. It's slotted. Right there it's slotted. And not over here, so that's a little, Let's have a look-see on the bottom side, why don't we? Oh yeah, it's slotted over there too. It's just full of dirt and paint. What the hell, over? Why they do that? They get in, oh, to clear the welds? Well, oh, to add weld? That is the weld? Oh, and that's rubber isolated too. Dang, just that one cross member with the one bushing's what holds all of our stuff. GM engineers are smarter than me. Who am I to judge? Here's what I'm thinking. This plate, where those slots are, is not welded on that side. That's just flat metal. There's no strength in that. We could cut that piece off, and then I think that would drop down through there. However, I'm not gonna do that unless we have to. Meaning, I'm gonna see if we can build something like what'll work right now. In the future, if we ever gotta pull this transmission and we don't wanna take the whole truck apart, then we can cut the rest of that little plate there and pull it out of there. And then at that point, we can do a plate back on or something. I mean, let's just hope I don't have to ever get in here. If we do, especially having a lift, it won't be hard to change then. Like 3 cuts and it'll drop out. Well, let me check our angle, make sure we're good, because that definitely hangs lower than I thought it was going to originally. I guess not that I thought it was going to, that I was hoping. Our angle's still good. Yeah. This actually is below this. So I guess we could build something that just kind of drops off of this, welds to this, and then just faces forward. Let me stare at it and overthink it. Actually, let's put our weight on there, get this out of here. That way I've got adequate overthinking room. Sometimes overthinking is good. I don't want to build off that cross member. Not with it being rubber isolated, holding the torsion bars. I just don't like the idea of it. We're gonna build our own cross member. We want ours to be removable. I am gonna entertain, these are caster plates for like putting wheels on a table that bolt on and off. I have like 10 of these. I've had like 10 of these for 5 years. I've never used them for nothing. I'm thinking we may be able to relief cut it and turn it into a little L bracket. Underneath here is a bunch of holes from the factory stuff. Curious where we line up if we use this hole. I want that towards the outside. Oh man, we land in a good spot. If we were to put another bolt in there, coming right here. Ooh, we like that. We'll square that. And we want to come to the outside of the frame. Give us a mark. We're gonna mark that and cut it. So our mark, I actually transferred it to the other side and then drew us a line across there. And we're gonna cut that, just not all the way through. I may have went all the way through. Let's see here, a couple speed wrenches, and it's either gonna bend really good or it's gonna end up snapping. Looking for 90. So now we can just weld that right there and burn that baby in. And hopefully our measuring was good and this hugs the frame and hits that one hole. Woo! Yeah, I like that. Woo! It's raining down now. Wet Willie. One, two, and then we'll come out here, 3, 4. All right, just like that. We've got a nice little bracket that hugs our frame nice and tight. Plenty of strength. I like it. Welcome to Oklahoma, where my mood rarely changes, but the weather always does. That looks like a whole lot of no thanks. Metal shavings, be gone! 44 inches. But we need to actually add a ½ inch to that because that did not account for the 1/4 inch on each side or that flat piece. So 44.5. Yeah. stripper pole. Oh yeah, you like that? Want me to work that thing? We're gonna take our stripper pole and cut it to the 44.5. This is 1 3/4, 1/8 inch thick DOM. I sounded really confident. Woo! Ha-ha! Show is nice. Set this piece of angle iron on here where we can mark us a straight line all the way down. Now from the outside of the plate to the inside of the plate is exactly 2.5 inches. So we're gonna cut off 1/4 inch of material that length. I mean like 1/4 inch down. So this is gonna be a little tricky. Just kind of eyeball it here actually. Once I mark that, then we'll put this on here so we can mark straight once again. And like I said, from that edge, 2 1/2 inch. We're gonna do one side at a time. Little notchy notch. Come on. This damn ABS brackets always getting in the way. They're about to meet the sawzall or something. And there's basically what we're looking for. All right, hold that with your sketcher. Go outside, 1 1/4 inch. We're gonna aim for the middle and see where that sits over there. So we'll go center there, 3 1/8. Then from there out 5/8, because 5/8 and 5/8 makes 1 1/4 inch. And now we'll have a reference to be able to hold that up to and aim for. Well, we could do it in the center. It'll be symmetrical. However, where the mount is further back, so if we take it back, it'll mean less of a mount we gotta hang out there. So I'm actually gonna go between our 2 marks over here and mark that right in the middle, and that is 3 3/8. And then from 3 3/8, I'm just gonna mark over the 1 1/4 inch. Scary thunderstorm. Nope, that's too close to our bolt. I'll figure it out eventually. Ow! Oh! Ow! That was my love handle. Little belly flop. This little sack right over here. Oh boy. That just rolled up into that wheel. Gave me a little pinching that I ain't ever had before in my life. That Harbor Freight Jack's trying to tell me I need to lose a few pounds. That body mass index or whatever down. Then you'll be getting the pinch of death. Pimp down. That one got me. Golly. Rub some dirt on it. I'll be okay. Put our jack across there just till both sides touch where we can wiggle it, but it'll hold it. Target acquired. I just eyeballed that where I liked it, and then I just measured from that back edge to the edge of the L bracket. It's 1.5 inches. Over here we're 1 3/4 inch. Just tap her till it matches. 1.5 inches, that's perfect. Watch your belly. I'm moving Little Red. Oh, I was gonna say Little Red is the name of my belly now. But no, she's named Purple Nurple. I ain't mad at how she's working out across here. Some great camera work. All right, 6 1/8. Center of that to that's 4 11/16. Probably go with 4 inch. Easy enough. High ship. I know I said 4-inch, but we're doing 3-inch. When I'm rounding them corners, they ain't perfect. But what I'm doing is I actually count the amount of times I just rotate it on the sander, and I try to push the same amount. I'm not just getting hog wild on it. I ain't getting buck nasty. Just a little even pressure, consistency. Be sweet to it. Over there, I eyeballed that we needed to come back from the edge 3/4 of an inch. Then we're doing half of 4 11/16. And we go from the middle of this piece out. It should be pretty much between 5/16 and 3/8, 2 and 5 that on each side. I'm not sure what size we need because that's metric. So what I did was I pulled one of the nuts off and got a bit that's just a little too big to go in there. That's holification guesstimation. To be able to slip that on there, we're gonna have to jack our transmission up. Need some clearance, Clarence. Woo! Hoo-hoo-hoo! That's Cinderella's glass slipper right there, baby. That's a perfect fit. Use the strongest impact I got. Now we're gonna sit this back down till that touches. I seen it start to bend it. All right, oh, too far again. About right in there. Now the question is, what are we sitting at? 3.2, I'll take it. And we cycled up and down, so don't trust it being centered. We ain't checked that in a minute, so we better check it. Because the next tack welds we do is locking that unit in. Oh yeah, she shifted. Shifted big time. Give her a little push. 21 7/8, that's what we're looking for. Yep. It's funny how it went back to its home. Put a couple fat tacks on there. I had a problem though. This side was touching, and on this side of the metal to the cross member, I could see some daylight. So what I did was I dropped our jack down and the weight pushed it down so it's hitting. Everything looks square, it was just crooked. That's probably because that mount's older and I'm sure not perfect. So I put 2 fat tacks on there, and now what we're gonna do is jack this back up just a hair. Right there's where it was, and I let that pull that plate back up to position it. If I had an extra set of hands, I could make that work, not by myself. All right, we're slowly turning into a cross member here. Oh dang, that's got the old stabilizer brown turd 450 on it. Y'all see that? Prevent some wrap, I guess. Ain't got no bushing in it though. How come she ain't got no bushing? Got the rubber, just not the steel sleeve, I mean. Look at damn near. If we had the steel sleeve, build something down off of this. Whoom, whoom. Stop her from torquing? Hell, ain't nothing gonna stop this old girl from torquing. Did you say Will Hop Wilma's twerking? And we went and got poster board, so we might as well use it. That's gonna need some gussets. Keep you one of them. 1 3/4 was the size we used, so we can put that radius right there. Just kind of guessed over here. A little trim down, but that's pretty dang close. Gotta treat these like carburetor. Just gotta tune it in. Yep. Just using the cutoff, we can get that sucker pretty close. You just kind of come in at angles and eat out chunks like all that. We'll clean that up with a flapper in a minute. I just unplugged the cutoff wheel, then re-plugged in the cutoff wheel and tried to start the flap attack. Knock down any of our sharp edges, and that right there is what we're after. We need 2 more of them. We're gonna do a total of 3 because that piece is so long. You know, that's the fit up we were looking for. Woo-hoo. Gotta get that tack out of the way a little bit, but other than that, that's golden. What do you think, Theodore? Dude, not on camera. Let's try again. What do you think, Theodore? Can y'all tell he don't like the camera? He really don't. Here, let me help you out with that ear scratch. Oh, that's the spot or what? Apparently not. Theo, what do you think about today? Once you cut out 1, cut out 2 more. Grind that corner off so that can sit where that tack's at. And that's ready to go. I'm gonna just leave that alone actually, and pull that cross member out where I can square that up a little better and everything. Yeah. Easy. Everything's just tacked. Set her at 90. You got a pro tip? Good welding tips are game changers. I don't know if I told you that in the last one. I'm out of my good ones, and I ain't had time to go. But I think they're only open on the weekdays anyhow. I didn't have time on the weekend. But these ones I got suck. One little pop and then you're fighting it. Mark center. Mark center. Weld it. Welding's welding, you can only watch so much of it, but on that cross member, because of our little gussets and stuff, there's a lot of it. And yeah, stacking dimes wasn't gonna work. I had to stack some nickels. Damn near called in the experts to lay down some $50. Y'all think I'm playing. Lay down some fatties right there. Out there, weld that. I was able to sneak in there about, well, most of that. Couldn't get in there super duper deep. But she's welded on the inside too. Every gusset over here is full welded. Of course, that's all full welded. The only thing I didn't weld was the inside of that. But as you can tell, we kind of penetrated through a lot of that. And that's just our side to side. A lot of the weight's gonna be on that bottom. So I'm okay with that. I'd love to slap this up in there, but there's no chance in hell I'm touching that hot thing. It's 8 p.m. anyhow, we're gonna call it a night. How'd we do today, Theo? Good morning. Now I thought I was gonna get out here early and finish up that fender. Only thing is that fender's damaged and I ain't decided if we're gonna replace it and color match the whole thing or just repair the front or what yet. So I decided to hold my horses. What I did want to do, and I don't know why I overlooked this yesterday because I've done similar in the past, was cap this in for some strength and aesthetics. So as you can see, another piece of poster board, another piece of metal. Boom, weld that on. Weld the backside. Way more strength, Way more gooder looking. Woo, woo, she's still cooking. Tell you what, it's a good feeling when that stuff goes back together after doing that much welding. You know, you weld stuff moves, heat changes things. Everything went in. I did have to take this and go like this. Oh. Well, you heard it take off a little bit. That big chunk was me hitting the bolt. Oopsie daisy. Just on a couple on each side. But it's okay. I mean, we're talking about just kissing a hair out there. It would have threaded without doing that. We just don't want to bugger up our threads if we don't have to. Damn, does that little bracket look cool hanging there. It's the little things in life. You know, two things. I never factored for exhaust because this was high. I just assumed our exhaust is going to go over there. And I know the bottom of our cab is right at. All right, we should have room to be able to feed 5-inch exhaust above this and clear the cab floor. And secondly, I text my brother-in-law and I said, how important are these? Again, thinking for stability, and he said, that's the exhaust hanger. And I remember when he dropped the drivetrain off, I asked him, I was like, oh, is that to stabilize that? And he was like, no, it's an exhaust hanger. So he's told me twice. Let's roll this thing forward and we're gonna tear into our front suspension. I wanna bring that front down 2 more inches. Right here I have 2-inch drop spindles, and I'm hoping they are the right ones. As you can see, those are hub centric, which makes for a nice, tight, good, safe fit. All right, here we go. Big boy stuff. I don't even know where to start. We'll start with spraying that down with some Looby Dooby, available at thesweetpatina.com. Use the promo code on the screen. Oh yeah, puddins.fab.shop in a can, baby. We released this last week, so it may be sold out by now. If so, sorry. She's due for some pads. By the looks of it, and rotors. Woohoo, ribbed for maximum stopping pleasure. All right, after this, I just assume we're supposed to come through here and take all these off, and then all that will come. There she be. Now, everything I can find on these, a lot of the stuff's interchangeable. Even if we were just going to 2-wheel drive, you can literally unbolt this hub and then bolt in the 2-wheel drive one. Or maybe they're the same and you just don't run the shaft. I don't know. But a lot of it shows anything that fits the 2-wheel drive fits the 4-wheel drive. To me, this is all new cars, and I don't know a lot about new cars. So these we're gonna use the Pot County Impact. We're gonna strip this one. Why? That's a 15. Okay, that one loosened, huh? Apparently I should have tried the Extendo Deluxe first. Oh, dummy. I didn't see that big old nut, even though I knew it was there. So what's left of our CV axle, because I torched it, is gonna be splined on right here, so we're gonna have to get this nut off. Come on. I was afraid of that. Yes! Y'all didn't know we did a little plumbing around here? Out with the old 4-wheel drive. And right there's our new for the 2-wheel drive, so they are different. See how that one's sealed? Now we just got our spindle. We'll loosen all of our nuts and then give stuff a smack. As you can see, doing that will shock the stuff and it'll help it fall right out. Here she goes. That's crazy. The tie rod had a bigger nut on it than the upper did. So quick little side-by-side comparison. And if we kind of put the bottoms, you can see how our flange is up higher. There's our 2 inches of drop versus being down here. Because it does go higher, instead of that being constantly beefy, it looks like they stepped that over for some support in there. This one looks taller, but if you look at the back side where the AR mounts is actually dropped down, so that's just to go taller so we got room for our bracket. Tie rod's similar position. Looks like it'll work. It just throws me off because I found these and they show for a 1,500, 2,500, a 3,500. It just don't seem right. Just gonna snug everything. This is a mock-up. This at some point, it's probably all gonna have to come back apart. See, I knew it was too good to be true. So they must make a different spindle for probably the doolies specifically, maybe? Or was the pattern different? I didn't notice. That's different. That's not a square, that's a square. Dang it. Quick little research, like on O'Reilly's website, they don't even show one of these available that ain't splined. I think we're just running these and you just don't run the axle shafts, guys. I mean, it's still a sealed bearing. That shaft just drives that. It don't retain that. And this, besides that, is a totally different lug pattern. See that? So I called Uncle Rick, who works on a lot more newer stuff than I do, and he said, yeah, usually if they don't show a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive option, they just sell one hub and you can run it on either. So what that means for us is, for right now, I'm gonna just throw this back on because we're still continuing a mock-up. And then some of y'all with more experience is gonna let me know down in the comments, and we're gonna go from there. You think so? This one fits better. Yep. And just like that, if this was for good, if we had a 4-wheel drive dually and we were converting it to 2-wheel drive and lowering it down, we'd be done. Those are $200 drop spindles I found on Amazon. Everywhere else is super expensive. I'm betting these are blemished ones. Meaning if we looked it over, there's probably something they weren't happy with, because I really doubt a company can cast these and sell them for 200 bucks when everyone else is through the roof. I don't know where the blemish is though, because they look dang good to me. And they fit dang good. Gotta do this side. I promise y'all the worst part of this job is taking off all these damn spikes. Oh, sheet metal master's here.
Done well you have.
Thank you, Sensei.
3 hours later.
For real. Man, Slick found out why you diesel mechanics make so much money, charging people $150 an hour to take an hour and a half to put damn spikes on them. That'd be 150 bucks, please.
Oh my god, it's true though.
It ain't heavy enough. Ain't heavy enough to. Yeah. Woo! Hey, that 6-speed helped put some weight on this. She's gonna ride like a dream, baby. Oh, it don't look that much lower till he's hammer that thing down over it. Now y'all know what she would look like if we left it with a lift kit. Damn old body lift, baby. I was excited to set that down, but our shifter's gonna hit. And by shifter, I mean the whole transmission by the looks of it, because we know this gets about an inch off of that, and that's a few inches above that. So now we need to cut out the only piece of good floor. Perfect. We're gonna pull it all. Woo, she got the double nut weld job.
Got it.
Damn, Hulk. We're gonna give you a hand. Structure? Never heard of her. Bet she clears now.
Yeah, I ain't got a choice.
I don't want to be the one riding in the middle where that shifter's sticking up.
No, not me.
If you see me with a shit-eating grin, that's for a good reason. Guys, look at that thing. 2-inch drop spindles, just what the doctor ordered. It looks absolutely hammered now. Oh yeah, we checking out the Fender? Yeah. Woo, there's our hard work put together, guys. That Fender, yeah. With that drop down and close that gap, I told you I was gonna look good. That looks damn good. Yeah. Look how low the front is with no bumper. Damn.
Ready for curves.
In the back, it is running uphill some, but right now I think 4 inches is too much for in the back.
I think a flat rake, like you say, would look good.
Yeah, a little rake would be okay, guys. Y'all gotta realize this running board's running uphill right now because it's bent. It's supposed to be down. I mean, it's just whoop-de-doo real bad, the brackets and everything. So if that was leveled the way it's supposed to be, my drop shackles came in. So we might get away with just throwing on, yeah, we'll go for like the 2-inch version, maybe. I don't know. What do y'all think about drop shackles? I got a problem with them because my problem is there's no way you could just drop the rear leaf spring up higher and your pinion don't just plumb change. I've read reviews. Some people run them and have no problems. Other people go, after I put them on, I had this weird vibration. Well, it ain't weird. You just change your pinion angle. You got damn pinion vibration.
Unless you do the 3 and then put a shim.
Oh, do a little shim lemon.
A shim under the leaf spring.
Yeah, shimmer it, baby. That's easy enough. I think we need to look at fixing our side to side anyhow. When I put these on the other day, I looked between here and I was like, oh yeah, we got about 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch of gap. Well, I never looked at this side. This side we do at the back, and up at the front we do not. That gets really tight, and in fact the tire's rubbing the overload down there. Now the overload could be tapped that way and pivot, but still as a whole. But then if you look at this, like this looks a little crooked. So I don't know if our bushing's worn out up there and it's got it cockeyed or what, but that's obviously gonna have to be addressed. So if we gotta get in there, like Slick just said, we can do a little shimming.
Just figure out what degree it changes, so measure at not now and change it.
I got a machinist buddy, we'll build our own, damn it. We'll go machine the overloads. Could you imagine that?
Sweep them.
Slick said go for 3 inches, see what she looks like.
Well, if you go for 3 and then you have to shim it, it's gonna raise it back up a hair, so.
Yeah. It does have pretty good rake now. Damn. I just wish that fender was done now where we could enjoy it. You know what though? With that dropping more, it don't look as bad as what it did when it was up in the air. If you look at the...
Well, that's what I run into on my 32s because the fenders had different radiuses. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's got different radiuses.
This has a drop and that has a hard sweep.
Yeah.
So what do you call center? That's up for...
no one knows.
Yeah.
You don't want
wherever you dream of.
Yeah. Well, if you get it too far back, then the big gap gets bigger on the front. So.
All I know is we nailed it on that other side.
Yeah, that's good.
Theo said he likes it, but he wants to see it with the drop shackles on the rear. We better get to it. Him's a good boy. I remember when I bought all those big jack stands and jacks and people were laughing at me like, you ain't got nothing that big? Oh, I was predicting for the future. I don't know if they're trusty, but they're definitely rusty. Must have that picked up just about perfect, hardly any weight on that. And that one, I don't really know how we get that out of there. Flip that up. No, because that's too wide. Guess we gotta jack that up past the frame. I don't know. Forgot to put the looby doobie on there. Some folks don't think lubricants make a difference. And I don't know if y'all can just hear the difference, but anyhow, we're not gonna debate that. That don't matter. So close. One, two. Now, it don't take no rocket scientist to figure out how the drop spindle works. That'll just go into place. That used to be there. These are allegedly 2-inch to 4-inch or 3-inch. I personally would say that's more like a 4 to 5-inch. Golly. Now, drop wise, I don't necessarily think it'll be too much. In fact, I think this will end up being just about right. Hey dummy, I should probably put that top one through first. Anyhow, but like I said, the incorrect pinion's what's gonna bother me the most about any of this. Did y'all see my slam truck? Yeah, the one over there that slammed, that's got 10-inch drop shackles in the back. They ride better than airbags. All right, here we go. Whoa. Bam, money. Bam. Lost bolt. Hello, lost bolt. Where are you? Right, here we go. Now obviously some, oh, let me get the jack stands out, that'll help. Some changes are gonna be required. In fact, that's already hitting. This is hitting our overload spring. Thankfully, these are just bolted on and not riveted on. So nothing we've done so far is hard to change back if need be. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right. The frame looks pretty damn level. The cab's looking pretty level. She may be higher in the back just one hair, but I think it looks pretty damn good. Holy shackle. Oh, pinion don't look crazy actually. I like to stay clean. 0.6. You know what? I probably shouldn't have put 3 degrees into that because I didn't think about us having a 2-piece, which it's okay. I ain't too worried about it. I thought this was gonna change to something like crazy. But being a half, I think it's fixable or runnable. Bang. They sold us a rear end with a broken yoke, huh? Boy, that thing looks like it's been broke for a long time too. Okay, it actually is not very good because that 1/2 degree is pointing down, which technically is pointing up. A lot of people will call this pointing down, but when you set pinion angle, you gotta remember through the component, from the front of the component to the rear. So if we drew an imaginary line through this, and you seen, I meant it was pointing up. Now I've got myself backwards. Here's what matters is, to get that actually level, we're having to pick up like that, and then we're gonna have to actually be aiming up. And I'm assuming that's too long for a big old 1-piece drive shaft. It's gonna have to have it too. So yeah, I'll look into some shims. I don't know if they make them for stuff this big, but if so, if we could get that shimmed up a couple degrees, I think it'd be cherry. Instead of being up, half a degree. It was down degree and a half, 2.5. I mean, we can make whatever work. So now, since we think we can make that work, what matters is, are we happy with the stance of this thing? Is the front low enough? Check. Is the rear low enough? Actually, I still think it's running up some. See how it's 1.5 degrees? And just the slightest amount difference there. I think we're gonna get that much more drop compressing those springs when we end up building a heavy bed, get a tank full of gas, or diesel, I mean. I think all that's gonna kind of come down to here. I think we're good where we're at, folks. I can't believe it. We are sitting this slammed because we were able to channel our body that far. We've got 2-inch drop spindles and 19.5-inch drop shackles, and that's all it took to have this thing hammered on her belly. In fact, on my rough measuring I'd ever done, I said, I think the running boards will get close to 6 inches. Well, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's 5.5 inches. That means I channeled it more than I originally thought I was gonna be able to, and I'm not mad about it. Roll with me this way. I know I said this was kind of about a not finishing, but getting some stuff mocked up. And I'd say we're doing pretty good. I was worried about, you know, maybe what's the front bumper need to look like. I'll be honest, guys, it's gonna sit low enough. The front bumper really don't matter. It does matter. It just is gonna be so easy at this point to make this look good because it's so low. It don't matter, if that makes sense. If that was higher and we were gonna have to start building a bigger, thicker bumper or something, we may need to worry. I would almost love to just find a good straight factory one and build mounts. It will be a long time before we can put the bumper on here because figuring out our front cab support or core support mounts and intercooler stuff like that's going to be pretty important up there. And then after all that's kind of figured out, we'll figure out how to sneak some bumper brackets out. Before we build that, we've got to get a radiator in there. Obviously we're not there yet, but like I said, just kind of giving her the eyeball, just that's going to be super easy to just put something there. Anything like 6 to 8 inches is going to look good across there. Something else I'm looking at, and I don't know the solution to quite yet, is how narrow that is in there. I bought these wheels direct bolt-on, and honestly at this point I wish I would have used the semi adapters. I don't think they push it out much more than 1 inch, but something would be better than nothing. I know people don't like adapters and spacers, but guys, people run them on stuff like this, like on dualies. You know, but the dualies come with a factory spacer, that thing that bolts on there that hangs it way out here, and then everyone's like, oh, you're putting so much more weight on your bearings. The factory does it, for crying out loud. And I'm not saying it don't, I'm just thinking some people overthink it, and I'm an overthinker. So I won't underthink it, I promise y'all. But that needs out, and there's not really a easy way to build control arms for this. If there was a factory wider spacer that bolted on the hub that kicked out further, I would be okay with that, but I doubt anyone makes that. I don't know. Corey Wheat Customs built one, and I'm pretty sure he came in off this edge over like 3 inches equally and cut the whole fender and slid the whole fender in. My problem with that is, with the height of that and then the width of that, I think proportionally it looks good as is. But what do I know? I'm no proportion master. Damn, that looks good. Can't wait to see this side outside. So we got to figure out some way to bring that out or take the fender in and it still look good to me. It really don't look bad until you start staring at it and then you're like, okay, yeah, that sucked in a little too far for my liking. Now I also wanted to get to this point because if I could get where I was happy with the stance, that lets me know what's sticking above the frame, what's below the frame, and then that starts to factor in how we can build a bed for this. Now I've told y'all from the get-go, it has to be a flatbed. I'm a pot counting. You drive here to our one stoplight in the town, and I promise you, you're gonna pass 15 flatbeds easy on the way there. It's just what's around here. Roundhouse overalls and flatbed pick-em-up trucks. So I always entertain the idea of making the flatbed tilt, because if we had some really long ramps, almost equal the length of the flatbed, which for this one, I measured it when Slick was here, Last time I measured and I come up with like 13 and a half, and I don't know how, because this time it was like 12 to 13. Either way, if we had ramps that were 12 foot or 11 foot long even on top of that, that's really long. And my estimate is if we could get the bed to tilt to 20 degrees with that long a ramp, we could actually be able to drive something on there. No, I don't want a wedge bed. No, I don't want a rollback bed modified to fit or nothing. It has to be like wood decked flatbed. So for more mocking up, I grabbed a 2x4 and a 2x6. And I was just kind of looking and picturing what would I want to build it out of. And I thought the 6 was going to be too big, but the proportions of everything else, I actually think if we use 6-inch tubing, it would look good. The problem with making it tilt is to do that, the bed as a whole would need picked up higher than the frame, where if we build just a normal flat bed, we can kind of channel it down and make it where basically the top of the flatbed is probably pretty close to the top of where that straight edge is. And when I aim that up there, I like that. If the bed as a whole needed to come up 3 or 4 inches and the top starts getting up there, I don't know I'm gonna like it. And I know that seems like a very small difference. However, little things for me can make or break and kill a build. And if I end up with a bed that's too tall and I don't like how it looks, I will not be happy. Now the good thing is, I've got an appointment in about an hour I've got to leave for. So we're not building a flatbed today or the rest of this week. That means I have time to think about it. But this was some of the stuff I wanted to look at where I could get my wheels turning. Like if it was obvious a dump bed would work and look good how I wanted it to look, then I'd probably start looking into different size of cylinders and stuff like that. Like I said, right now, I've got to come up with what can I live with or what can I not. So that's why it was important to see some of this. I thought today, besides drop shackles, that we were going to have to do hangers as well. So I thought we were going to have to drill all those rivets on each side and look at moving that thing up. Of course, then we got to maintain keeping everything square and then reattaching it, blah, blah, blah. But obviously, we don't have to get into all that now. So it's kind of bought me some more time for just doing what sometimes you got to do on a project, guys, which is stare at it and do some figuring out up here so then you can physically move forward with some work. I don't know if I showed y'all or not after we had sat it down, but right there's where our transmission had landed. Shifter's not in a terrible place. We're not going to be able to use the one that kinks or whatever, but surely they make one that just comes straight up or maybe even jogs forward a hair or something. I can't tell quite yet because I don't know the size of the yoke that goes in there. If we're gonna have to be notching the back of that cab for the main support, it looks like we may have to. It's kind of like doing a C-notch. It ain't scary by any means, but looks like it could be a possibility. And then other than that, to tunnel the rest of that, it's nothing too crazy, fairly small tunnel-ish. I told Slick at this point, there's no sense in trying to save this little piece or that little piece. I need to cut it along underneath the sill plate where it connects to the rocker and everything. We'll cut it along that back. This whole floor will come out, probably including toe boards across there. And then at that point, we'll probably take like 1 by 1 and build us a basic floor pan frame. We'll sheet metal to it, and then we'll have to build tunnels down to that. So there's gonna be some sheet metal work on the inside. Besides the outside, like I said, I still need to fix some of this stuff, but that's all like probably towards the end of the build. Well, I don't know. We don't have to do it soon. Because thankfully, even with a tore up fender, this thing still looks damn good. Woo, Wilma, you look mighty fine, my darling. This bed's kind of bothering me, so I want to put something on there, 1.5 inches. That's just because that's rigid enough to hold itself true out here. That 1.5 inches is the exact same angle as the frame, so I know it's running nice and true with it. And I actually think it's gonna need to be about 1 inch taller than that. Boop, boop. Beep up. So So I'm looking at that being the top of the bed floor. From there we'd have, of course it'd be out here, but 6-inch sides. We're gonna have to get creative here, folks. Let me get a screw. Y'all know I'm known for my stellar woodwork. And this may not be stellar woodwork, but what it is a visualization. All right, y'all seen it before me? All right, all right. You're like, hey, Puddin', that's some floating scrap wood. Why are you, but it's because I can see it now. I can see the frame and where it's at. And then from there, we can position up and see if I like it or not. I'm running out of time quick. Let's get this thing outside so we can see it. All right, well, for the driver's side, here she is, folks. Woo, baby. Hot damn, look at that thing. That Fender, oh, with it hugged, it looks amazing. It really does just look so good. Now we may take some off the bottom of that and kind of curve it more quicker and keep it closer, but I don't know, time will tell. I know the sun's on this side, so it'll help you see it better, but stance wise, guys, this thing outside the shop without the lift there, holy cow. I mean, it looks freaking on its belly now. Looks like we did way more than a 2-inch and 3-inch spindle shackle combo. I think the weight of the 6-speed finally got those torsion bars at a point where it sagged them a little more too, and just overall it's perfect. Stance is perfect. You want to see that? And then out here she can maybe come down just 1 more inch in the back. Not much, if any. So guys, that's it. We started this video off right here in the same spot, and I was rolling down that window, and I told you we were going to keep working on my big rig, and I think we made some pretty good progress on it. That's huge progress, way less work than having to reposition a cab and motor, especially after we had locked in those motor mounts and cab mounts. And then the suspension wise, drop spindles, like I said, it's gonna ride amazing, guys. It should be nice and bouncy. Well, not bouncy, it should take the bumps nice and not be all stiff. It should be fairly close to driving a stock suspension one. I think it's gonna be better. I think it's gonna be softer. And then just kind of getting an idea what we got going on back here now helps me out being able to sleep at night and everything else. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I've got about 6 minutes to get wrapped up, shut down the shop fully, and get inside so I can head to my appointment. I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. I know earlier KK popped over. She was fulfilling orders because Nate Dogg's out of town this week. So the girls have been taking care of those for y'all. We appreciate all the support at puddins.fab.shop. That makes building this Loadstar I dreamed of building, and y'all seen on the channel for over 4 years now, possible. So I cannot thank y'all enough for all the support. I'm on the Instagrammer. You can get the same content over on the Patreon. It's just completely ad-free. It costs a little bit. Just another way to support me and the family directly. We cannot thank y'all enough. Other than that, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And I will see y'all in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. We'll see y'all in the next one. Merch delivered. Go! Going so fast I'm losing interior pieces. Watch out. Now y'all know before we do any significant sheet metal modification, it has to be approved by the sheet metal master. Sheet metal master Slick 50. This lady was checking out the truck, and then I'm over here talking to the camera, clapping. She was like, leave me alone, lady. I'm living in my own world over here. Can't even ask him. He ain't even at his shop.